but there's also the material nature of relationships and culture. Like, those are really fragile too. And so I kind of see it as a metaphor of like, it's kind of all hanging by a thread, if you will. I find it really interesting that, newspaper has been this material used for centuries now, whenever like the presses, were made to be a medium used to disseminate news quickly because it was cheap. But like, that's also the way so much of our social conversation is shaped, and like it's kind of this throwaway material, and that tension between something that is so important and how we learn about the world outside of ourselves and our immediate circumstances, being placed on a piece of paper that's just, something that doesn't last, is really interesting to me. And then it's, placing the media of the internet, which expands that further through digital, reach, but is also a really quickly, it's viewed as kind of like a toss away, like stuff, the cycle just comes and goes and comes and goes, but it's also recorded kind of forever. So that element of time and how it's all kind of compressed in these mediums is something that I find really curious. And the process of stitching is really, really slow. And it's also an ancient medium, and has been ubiquitous across cultures. And so thinking of that as like just a woman's quote unquote medium, or like something that mothers do at home while their children are doing whatever, is on the one hand true, and also like something that glues society together. So yeah, the way things are viewed or kind of culturally accepted or made into like a trope compared to what the actual experience is as a person, as a mother, as a woman, is like just this unending fascination for me of like, how do these things overlap? What do they actually look like? How do we bring the personal into this and actually have a meaningful conversation about it, both through material and through just viewing and experiencing work and then talking about it together.
Anyone else want to pop in?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say there was actually a lot of people at the opening talking about like time and materials in our work, and I really like how we all kind of talk about that in terms of like the cement or the ephemeral nature of the newspaper, or the sort of like dusty decomposing quality of this, or even like the time to squeeze, like for Alison's and the animations, like that was something that I guess I subconsciously was putting together, but I didn't really realize until it was all there. So that was like kind of a nice surprise. But in terms of going back to motherhood, and I really responded to what Katherine said about being a mother and just feeling like damned if you do, damned if you don't. And I feel like that really changed my artistic practice. Before I became a mother, I was like very, very concerned with what people thought of me, and I was kind of a contrarian and like all that kind of stuff. And after I had kids, I realized it was like a no-win situation, so you just might as well do whatever you want. So I started taking like much wilder risks without really caring about what happened after. And I just really appreciate this group. I'm really happy I met this group of people who are really intelligent and take a lot of risks with their work and are really thoughtful, because I can say like before when I was like, oh, I'm an artist mother group, I'm not sure, like it was kind of in my head too, like, are these all going to be like flowery, mothery, like I had that sort of like even masculine in my head kind of like judgment of it. And I was really, really happy that I could find other women who thought like I did. And that was a really, really nice surprise. And I think it's apparent in the show too. So that makes me happy.
Awesome. You almost made me feel a lot there with that. And I'm not in the exhibition, but I think the sisterhood in that kind of transcends like everything that you're saying. Delia, did you have any final questions or words or anything?
No, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your time today with us, and just sharing a little bit more about your practice and the exhibition.
Awesome. Yeah, I will echo that. Thanks for your time, for sharing such powerful work, not only with us, but with everyone that was able to see it at Clamplight, and who will see your work in the future. But I think that's pretty good, and we can wrap it up. And Sarah will have the recording, so we can share it amongst our people.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and put it up on the